When the Las Vegas Raiders hired Pete Carroll and traded for Geno Smith, the franchise believed it was taking a major step toward stability and competitiveness. Instead, the season has spiraled into a rough stretch marked by losses, frustration, and long stretches where the team hasn't looked competitive at all. With the record sinking and the performances slipping, many around the league are starting to ask whether it's time for the Raiders to stop trying to patch holes and instead start a full rebuild. On his national show, Jim Rome didn't hold back. He said what many fans have been thinking but haven't wanted to admit. After watching this team struggle week after week, Rome argued that the entire project needs to be torn down and restarted from the ground up. He pointed out that relying on a 74-year-old coach to reshape a franchise was always a gamble, and now that the results have played out, it's clear the move didn't create the culture shift the Raiders hoped for. Rome then turned his attention to Geno Smith, and he was just as blunt. Smith has struggled with turnovers, inconsistency, and a lack of rhythm. Rome reminded listeners that the quarterback once embraced the idea of proving doubters wrong, but now the issues have resurfaced. He acknowledged the lack of support around Smith, the shaky offensive line, the thin protection, the lack of rhythm on offense, but he also pointed out that Smith hasn't done much to elevate the team either. Owning mistakes after a game is fine, Rome argued, but at some point the play on the field has to match the accountability. Even with the criticism mounting, Pete Carroll is standing firmly behind his quarterback. He continues to insist that Smith's dedication, effort, and competitiveness are unchanged. Carroll has repeatedly praised Smith's work ethic and expressed confidence that he will eventually come through. But the results tell a different story, with the offense repeatedly failing to crack the 20-point mark and struggling to threaten opposing defenses. The situation leaves the Raiders at a crossroads. The experiment with Carroll and Smith was supposed to stabilize the organization long enough to build momentum, but instead it has exposed deeper issues across the roster and coaching structure. The question now is whether the franchise will keep pushing forward with the current plan or finally commit to a full reset. With the season slipping away, the pressure to answer that question is growing louder every week.